Vinyl records first rose to prominence in the late 1800s, and to most members of the general population fell by the 1980s. The vinyl record and the associated paraphernalia have become somewhat of a fossil, a relic only interesting to those who have learned in one way or another to appreciate them. Most music collections today are digital, or at least consist of CDs. But the purists who opt for the EPs and LPs of yesteryear seem to find a deeper meaning in their music, a meaning that transcends the songs contained in the black vinyl. For Justin Gonzalez, it is an important link to what he considers the halcyon era of music and connects him to his creative side, allowing him to express himself.
I used to sell used vinyl, and when I was buying them back, I used to save a lot of that vinyl for myself so I'd be able to get some good deals, and my collection of vinyl grew very fast.
Play music as a kid, or were you exposed to music as a kid?
I've been playing music since high school. I play the drums, I play guitar. When I moved to Sacramento, I've been in a couple bands, and so I'm always playing music, recording music. That's a big part of what I do. Like,
If you could see any band live, regardless of what time they played,
oh man, I get asked this question maybe once a month. But I would say the Ramones. I mean, I know they're pretty much all dead, but they're a big influence for me. Like, I get, sometimes I moved around a lot in Sacramento, and sometimes I would have the ability to play the drums in my house, and sometimes I'd be in an apartment and I couldn't do it. So I find like different ways to like feed that urge to play music. So sometimes I'll just be doing like stuff on my computer, or I'll have like a practice space and I'll be able to play drums or play really loud. So I'm always accommodating my urge to play music. So it's very important that I get that out and I'll go crazy.
cool.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it. It's got a backbeat, you can't lose it. Any old time you use it. Gotta be rock roll music. If you wanna dance with me. If you wanna dance with me. I got no kick against modern jazz. Unless you try to play it too damn fast.
It would be untrue to say that vinyl is never used anymore. It would even be untrue to say that vinyl isn't made anymore. In fact, lots of new musical groups put their music out in the vinyl format. However, this has become somewhat of a specialized practice. The new vinyl market today caters to the hip-hop and dance crowd, although jazz records still have a notable presence in record stores. The records are not marketed to the common music fan as they used to be. Today, vinyl appeals mostly to DJs and people who mix their own music on a computer at home. For Aaron Cooper, records are just part of the gig.
Like a hurricane. That's why I go for that rock and roll music.
Alright, hi, my name's Aaron Cooper, DJ Oddjob, whatever you want to call me. I've been DJing now for about, I'd say on my own, I've been doing it for about a year now. I got into it a while back because I worked for a company that did that, and they stopped giving me work. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it myself. So I turned 18, got approved for credit cards, and a while later I got my own setup, and I'm doing it. I'm self-promoted. I just do it out of my dorm and wherever people need me. That's where down to rock a party, wherever.
So, do you collect vinyl records?
Yeah, as I try to do as much vinyl as I can. It's when I'm actually like at a party, it's about half and half vinyl MP3. Vinyl is my favorite, so I try to do as much vinyl as I can. It's just harder to stay up to date with vinyl because like you gotta go, especially with like internet. I can go get like 100 free songs, or I can go buy like a single for like $10. It's easier to stay up to date with MP3s, but I love vinyl, so I try to stick to vinyl, like kind of vinyl wise. It's almost all hip hop.
Right.
I've got a lot of like old school hip hop. my favorite is like underground kind of indie style hip hop. I have a little bit like, radio top 40 vinyl, and that's about half of my collection. The other half, I'd say I have about like probably about 100 records, something like that.
Okay.
Half of that is like party music or just music I like to listen to. The other half is like old records that I'll go buy for like 50 cents, $1 per record, which is really sick. Like there are a couple stores that like 30 for $10, so I'll just go do that. And I pick stuff that looks really like cheesy or like stupid or really, really old. And what I do is like I'll record it into my computer and like kind of remix it, make like a new song out of it. So I'll sample that stuff.
Okay, so you mix vinyl records when you're DJing?
Yeah.
Aaron also uses records to connect to the past. While Justin tries to connect to a previous era, Aaron saw it as a way to bridge a generational gap. A mutual interest in vinyl allowed him to forge a strong bond with his grandfather. It is this familial connection that gives the music its deeper meaning. This is a picture of Aaron's collection.
Anybody in your family collect vinyl records? So do you have like a special bond between you and your dad and mom?
It was actually it was my grandpa that got me into it. He had an old record player at his house that was always broken, and one day I tried to fix it, and he came over and was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, "I'm trying to fix a record player," and he goes, "Oh," and we took it apart and we figured out what it was, and we ordered the part from like this really obscure site because it's an old record player. And I picked out some of his stuff and I started listening to it, and that's where I got like interested in it. My family.
If you see one musical group from any era, who would it be and why?
Let's see. I think that it'd have to be Parliament Funkadelic, like mid '70s, because there was that. It was mainly I saw this. I have one of their old records, and I was really digging it.
Connections seem to be a justification of collecting vinyl that permeates the audiophile community. Chrisanne uses her collection to experience the glory days of rock and roll, but she also uses it to connect with her friends. She cites this as the main reason she started collecting.
Hi, I'm Chrisanne Samaniego.
Alright, so how long you been collecting the vinyl records for?
I've been collecting records for probably about like a good 6 years now.
6 years ago. What kind of vinyl records do you collect mostly?
I like old school like rock, like Bob Dylan, Billy Idol, Gary Newman. Those are like the cool records.
Oh, okay. Did anybody influence you collecting the records, like anybody in the family?
No, not really family, more like close friends, because we all collect records together. So like my best friends all had records too, so I did.
Okay, so do you like buy the records most of the time? Like how do you?
Well, usually like I buy them new because I do, but they go to like thrift stores and they like buy old records and then they'll like buy new records too.
Okay. And how big is your collection?
It's not that big. It's only about 20 records, so it's not that bad.
Okay. That's cool.
It seems that it's not only the business world where connections mean everything. There is no doubt that these collectors would not find the same meaning in their collections if it weren't for the connections that they afford them. Whether it's Justin to his creative side, Aaron to his grandfather, or Chrisanne to her friends, building a collection is just as much an exercise in building relationships, both abstract and concrete. It seems that vinyl may have run its course in the commercial world, but it continues to take on new meanings in the lives of collectors and the people around them.